Welcome to Unity of Light Spiritual Center of Vestal, New York. Today we are going to be doing part 3 of our Chakra series. Pattii Yoder recorded one long informational video, so what we ended up doing was we cut it in half at a certain point. So I tried to fix it together a little bit, but it will seem like it was cut. But you know what? That's just how it is. We didn't want to have one really long video, so we split it up into 2 videos. So with that being said, Reverend Pattii Yoder will take it away.
You are being encouraged to read as much as you can on how to treat your body, which is your spirit's only transportation for moving around on this planet with its gravitational pull. This is your vehicle for your lifetime, and you are responsible to take care of it. You are being encouraged here to become the best you can possibly be. And that path, I believe, is to begin to learn about the energy centers that make up major parts of your body and affect organs, emotions, and other things within you. Do you have issues you are struggling with near any of these centers? We're going to talk about that a little during our meditation. Do you have emotional, mental, physical, or spiritual things that you desire to identify, bring to the surface, overcome, release, and no longer struggle with? Then I encourage you to pray and meditate and concentrate on the healing of each part of your body, each chakra, with gratitude for its magnificence. No matter how much neglect or abuse it has been through until now, you can begin to reverse many, many things. Again, I'm not a doctor. I'm not saying to you to stop any medicine or do anything that would endanger you. I have no right or education to do that. I'm saying just how you are, you can begin to be more aware of your body's magnificence. You may have to delve deeper into many of these things in your own study, or you can just continue to work with your own meditation time on exactly what we cover here. Your studies are going to be important to your growth. You can pay as little or as much attention to the earth elements, the flowers, and the symbolism of all of the chakras as will suit you. Take what you want from any of this information, which is readily available in so many books and online, and leave the rest. This is where we start with new studies and new information. Read it. Don't be afraid of it. Take what you think is good and leave the rest. As a student myself, I want to present you with what I have learned, and I want to encourage you to take what you want from this, from a spiritual perspective. I'm giving you an overview of the subject that has a great deal more to learn than I could ever teach here. But we start any new research or spiritual growth or any new study with baby steps, just like this. We already have learned some things about these chakras in lesson 1, and I've chosen not to repeat them here. So we are going to review and build on what we've learned before, adding information, and I'm going to talk about flower and geometric symbols that are associated with the chakras. They represent the chakra, and more information about the body and emotions connected to the chakras so we can focus our meditation on healing and imbalances we might identify within ourselves. As we review, we are learning. So our first chakra is the root chakra. The color of it is red, which is life, vitality. Think of the color of blood containing the life force, energy flowing to every part of your body. That image might help you. Red blood nurtures every organ. If that blood stops flowing, that's the root of everything. In Sanskrit, the word for this chakra, the root chakra, is Muladhara and translates to root support. Root support. It is located at the base of the spine, and it's considered a place of grounding and open. And it's really important that this root chakra get opened and healthy, because this flows energy all the way up through every chakra and out the crown chakra. You have to remember that all of these chakras are connected and they aid and assist each one. The earth element is the earth itself for this root chakra. And this one has a lot of feelings and roles. It is the base support and location of connection to the earth. This chakra is critical importance for your inner strength and your total awareness of your whole body. It gives us the motivations to sleep, eat, and procreate. Patterns for balance and imbalance may be in the negative realm. Emotions you find residing in this area will include things like fear, insecurity, and greed. This is also the area where the survival instinct, the fight or flight instinct, is going to reside. Even though you might feel it other places, this is where it resides. While all chakras are affected negatively when you are living in a dangerously or extremely tragic or illness-ridden existence, having this chakra closed is to positivity can make survival situations go on and on even after the danger has passed. So this would be a typical example of somebody stuck in survival mode after a traumatic event, and PTSD might be a good term for somebody stuck in survival mode due to past traumas. So this chakra is a point of balancing the path to wholeness and healing. Foundation, think foundation. You have to put the foundation of a building down first. And it has to be good. Otherwise, everything above it is going to crumble. And it's a wonderful example to think about this base chakra. The positive emotions that you might find residing in this chakra are a feeling of being safe, secure, stable, grounded, abundant, feeling like you are enough, which is something that many, many people have issues with, that they don't even realize that many of their reactions are because they have not grown to realize they are enough just like they are. So people who have great faith and are miraculously calm through strenuous times, then you look at them and you say, man, I don't know how they made it through. Their root chakra was in great balance. The meditation focus of this is that our base power comes from above, the creator, and below in the earth. And so this chakra should be first aligned before any others, as it ties to all the other chakras all the way up to the crown. If it is not well and balanced, it can affect your entire body, mind, soul, and spirit. It gathers energy from the earth and from nature too. So we need to think about this as core, the foundation, the beginning of where we're going to have health. And in Eastern religions, this chakra is symbolized by a lotus flower with 4 petals and a geometric shape of a square. So again, I'm not going to go over all the meanings of these numbers of flower petals or the symbolism of the geometric shape, but you can grab onto those things and you think a square has 4 sides and it's whole. It's a foundation. It's square. Everything on the bottom holds up the top. And so if you want to think about the symbolism of that particular chakra, you're going to have the opportunity to maybe make some bridges between why these geometric shapes are. And you can create your own thoughts about why they are what they are. You can read about them, how they were formed, and all of that in many books and resources. But to me, when I think of this, 4 petals on that lotus flower and the geometric symbol of a square, this seems like a house, a foundation to me. The second chakra is often called the self chakra. The color is orange, as we learned last lesson, and it's a color that's linked to creativity, passion, and sexuality. The Sanskrit word for this chakra is, and this is a hard one, svadhisthana, and translate to the dwelling place of the self. Its location is between the pubic bone and the navel. So it's down in your lower belly, up above your root chakra, which is down in the base of your body. The earth element is water, and the role of this chakra is fertility, sensuality, and creativity. It's also, sexuality is often a big part of this, and this area is the pelvic area where all the procreation organs align. And this one also, believe it or not, aligns with your feet. And I have not been able to answer a question or get a question answered of how this particular one and not the root aligns with your feet, but it should be giving you some thoughts about when your feet are hurting. It might not be your back that's a problem, or your knees. It might be your this chakra, your second chakra, needs attention. I happen to have some painful feet, and after I studied this, I thought, okay, I'm glad I have this now, because now I can concentrate on patterns of balance and alignment for this chakra, and hopefully my feet will begin to feel better over time. Negatively, this chakra can be creative stagnation, sterility, and please don't just think having babies or making babies. We're thinking procreation in all of life. What are you creating in your life or not creating in your life? Inertia versus creativity. So, is it a sexual relating chakra? Yes, it is. But think bigger than just sex. All the areas in your life, are you experiencing stagnation, inertia, the inability to move forward on decisions? Everything sexual is here, but it's also creation. Your creative creation could be a baby, it could be a piece of art, a book, a household, something in your future, a calling. What are you stuck on? In positive reflection on this chakra, we're talking about fertility, both in sex, but all in your ideas and your life in general. Creativity and sensuality. This means acceptance of love of yourself and all your creative ideas, and your sensual and sexuality all have their source here in this chakra. Do you love yourself? Do you love your body? Do you love your sexuality? Or are you in a state of inertia? This is the place. So people who have body images, issues, this is a chakra to seek healing for. The lotus flower that represents this chakra has 6 petals with a geometric symbol of a crescent moon. And if you're a romantic and you think of sex and love and loving yourself, there's nothing prettier than a crescent moon for romance, right? So think about that crescent moon. Third chakra. And again, I want to repeat, these are not the reasons that these symbols are connected. I am telling you how you might remember what the symbols are, something that relates to you for that symbol. The third chakra is your solar plexus chakra, and as we discussed before, the color associated with it is yellow, and yellow is about your self-worth, how you feel about yourself. So, little connected to the chakra below, the Sanskrit word for this chakra is Manipura, and it translates to the city of jewels. So stop and think about the jewels of you. Between the belly button and in the umbilical and the solar plexus is the breastbone and includes the lumbar spine. So you're talking about from your belly button or your umbilicus up, where your umbilical cord was connected, up to that little bone right below your the center of your chest, that if somebody kicked you there, you're going to be gasping for breath. This is where this chakra resides, and the earth element is fire. The feelings and roles associated with this is also linked to digestion, and that shouldn't be any surprise, because when you get heartburn, that's kind of where it hurts, right? It collects vital energy associated with sunlight and fire. The sun is fire, right? And a key to distributing vital energy to the rest of the body. It is no coincidence, none at all, that the navel is the starting point of those 72,000 subtle energy channels we called nadis in the beginning. These begin in your belly button. So think about when a baby is born and that belly button is connected to the placenta and that mother. And when it's cut, now this individual has all these subtle energy channels from which flow from this, the lower part of this chakra. In a negative role, this would be lack of willpower and self-control. And I confess, I have my own issues with that area. Especially after having been stroked, you do kind of lose a lot of your willpower, your drive, your passion can be affected. So you have to figure out other ways to create that kind of self-control and willpower. If you are a person who abuses power with other people, or you have energy issues or personality issues, this is the place that needs to be healed. In a positive realm in this, willpower, self-control, effectively managing your personal power over yourself and others in balance, in your balance of yourself and your body energy, and not imposing things on all other people. This is the place. The meditation focus here will be developing one's personality, one's willpower, and one's self-control. And the lotus flower symbol for this chakra has 10 petals with a geometric symbol of a triangle. So stop and think about how you would relate self-control and willpower, maybe a base, and your goal is the top of that triangle, right? So that's what this chakra is going to help you with. How can you reach those goals that are balanced in your body and require you to be focused and move forward with them? The fourth chakra is the heart chakra, here in the center of your chest. And the green is the color that actually green activates a sense of touch and healing. So it's the heart being green is very, very, it relates, in my opinion, healing your heart. The Sanskrit word for the fourth chakra is anahata, meaning unstruck. And I had a little struggle with that word when I first learned it, and I like anahata better than unstruck. But if you think about being struck, metal being struck and hammered, The heart is open. It's not struck. It's not hammered into a shape or specific thing. Your heart is open and not confined by the striking that would make it closed or unhealthy. So you want to realize that your heart needs to be open and unstruck. The location is above the solar plexus at the breastbone, and this also includes the lumbar spine. This includes, in the center of the back. This includes between the shoulder blades and the region of the heart, and believe it or not, the palms of your hands. I found this information quite nice because if you consider how we give to others from our hearts, it's generally through our hands. Sometimes through our words, sometimes through our pocketbooks, but more often helping hands. So, and this kind of ties back to the green color, which is meaning the activation of the sense of touch, which again, your fingers are where your sense of touch is most commonly felt. The earth element is the air. This chakra aligns with circulation, respiration, and no surprise, your emotions. So it's right here in your chest where your lungs are and where the heart is nearby pumping the blood. And if your heart is aching, that emotion, this is the center. Negative aspects of this chakra might be, you might have a sense of neediness, inability to receive. There's a lot of people who love to give, but have an awkward time receiving. Senses of abandonment for those who have been abandoned in life in different various ways. Sexual dysfunction. Also, I know it's surprising that it is not the sacral chakra, but sexual dysfunction has something to do with the heart. Emotional issues include emotionally paralyzed, and that makes me think about inertia in that lower chakra. So it's a challenge to attach or love unconditionally, which we are called, all of us, to do. So when we're not doing that, it's an issue of the heart. Positive, balanced ability to love, give, and receive in healthy, balanced ways. Balanced, healthy boundaries with other people, with yourself, and with others. Love and give unconditionally. And these are important things for us all to learn. The meditation focus is going to be to restore and renew a sense of balance and healthy love for yourself and others, and developing one's ability to receive and give without condition. This lotus flower is 12 petals with a geometric symbol of a 6-pointed star. Your heart is the star of your emotions. The fish chakra is the throat chakra, located up here, and it's a blue, light blue color, and it relates to, no surprise, communication, speech, self-expression, and truth, knowing your truth. The Sanskrit word for this chakra is Vishuddha, which means pure. And I think all of our words that come from the location of our throat should be pure and kind and healing. The earth element is ether, or the space out in the ether. The feeling and roles of this chakra, it activates the senses of speaking and hearing. This chakra is said to purify speech and communication. So you want this chakra to be healthy. So it is purifying your speech. From a negative perspective, fear of being judged, speech impediments and difficulties of unresolved grief, inability to make decisions and act on them, inability to self-express, and lack of inspiration. Do you see how some of these relate to the lower chakras as well? There's a tie-in all of this. From a positive perspective, you have the balanced ability to process and move through grief and to live more freely as a result of it. So think about grief. There are stages, and you cycle around a lot with the stages of grief. So keep in mind that when we talk about moving through grief, it's not a straight line, it's a circle. Freely, good self-expression, healthy decision-making, being inspired, able to speak out without fear, all come right here. The meditation focus for this is to restore and renew a sense of balanced and healthy self-expression and confidence in being heard and understood, not just heard, but understood by whomever you're speaking to. Proper grief management. And it might seem odd that this is a center that's going to be talking about grief or attending to grief for you, but I liken it maybe to crying, weeping, the sound you make when there's grief and no words to describe it. Maybe there's a connection there. Releasing fears of judgment by others. And the lotus flower for this chakra has 16 petals with a geometric shape symbol of a circle. And did I not say grief is a circle? So we need to come around, come around, come around. And hopefully every time we come around to the phases of grief or phases of healing or phases of everything we're doing, we're coming around more whole, not going over the same things. We're moving on to new areas of healing. Sixth chakra, third eye, right here, is indigo or cobalt in color, which is a dark blue. And it relates to understanding the divine in one's higher self. So the divine in you is right here, seen right here. The Sanskrit word for this chakra is ajna, meaning command or perception, and we perceive with our third eye. Center of the forehead, right between the eyebrows. So we're not talking up here on the top, but down here, the third eye. Your earth element is light, and we always want the light, don't we? The feelings and roles of this chakra are to learn to go beyond our senses and be willing to understand more abstract things, spiritual things, things we can't touch and prove. This is where our vision comes in, where we see beyond reality. So if you get a vision of the future of something that you want for yourself, some accomplishment you're working for, that vision comes in your third eye, and it might not be a reality. It might not be a reality for 2 or 3 decades, but it's a vision you have in your third eye, and you know that it came from a spiritual source, and you can pursue it with confidence. In the negative, there's lack of vision, lack of imagination, and the inability to connect with higher love, with our creator or our higher self as well. It also is the source of devotion issues. So that's an interesting one, I thought. On the positive side, intuition, wisdom, creativity, vision, dreams, spiritual connection, and psychic abilities are centered here. And, you know, for what it's worth, we all have psychic abilities. We just choose not to develop them or not to speak of them, but they are there. You have intuition, everybody has intuition, and you can grow it and develop it as much or as little as you want. The meditation focus for this chakra is to open and allow vision and creativity, wisdom, and spiritual connection from only the source of the highest light and love to come to you. You always only want the source to be the highest and best light source to come to you. Light and love. Only light and love may enter here. That's a good closing saying. Only light and love may enter here. So respect and trust for your intuition, and that's the whole part about psychic ability, for you to trust your intuition or trust your wisdom or the visions that you might see. All of us see them or have them, as I said, but we might not trust them or want to pursue them, and there they will sit and not be used. The lotus flower for this particular chakra is 2 petals, and the geometric shape is a winged circle. So I love that shape. To me, I think about whole, being whole and taking wing. That's spiritual. Being whole and taking wings, taking wing to your future and the best you, that comes right here in your third eye. And the last chakra is the 7th chakra, as we've learned. It's called the crown chakra. And the color is either usually gold or white. And it relates to reaching beyond the moment to the highest realms of the eternal creator, whatever you would like to call your creator, God. Sanskrit word for this chakra is another hard one, Sahasraha, or Sahastrar, which means 1,000-petaled lotus. And that should be no surprise, because that's what the lotus flower is, but we'll get to that. And I like to liken it. I mean, no lotus flower has 1,000 petals. However, our creator can make as many petals, you know, as creator wants. And so the location of this is on the top of your head, up here in the middle of your head. Your earth element is light, and like I said, you always want light to be coming in. It brings universal light energy to the lower 6 chakras, self-realization, peace, and bliss, and it controls the cerebral cortex and opens one to very high spiritual vibrations. So if you want to know more about this, the cerebral cortex, do a little search on what that part of your brain actually does. In the negative, we have some self-delusion going on, lack of clarity, spiritual materialism, which is, it's kind of an oxymoron, because spiritualism is not materialism, but some people can make it that way if they're self-deluded or self-indulged. Some glamorize spirituality for their own benefits, and we need to be aware that's entirely possible. We have to be grounded and focused on the light and the love and the good spiritual path, because we can go down other paths which are not good for us. The positive side of that chakra is the gifts of seeing, receiving illuminated guidance. Maybe some of you had been in the shower, really, really relaxed, and there's a beautiful, warm shower beating on you, and you get the best idea for a business or a solution to a problem in your family. It just comes to you. That's the kind of illuminated guidance I'm talking about. You're relaxed enough and open enough and just able to do that. And you can get that way in meditation, absolutely, or in prayer, or walking, or whatever, journaling. You can get that way to receive illuminated guidance. It comes through the crown chakra. Heightened intuition. We all can use more heightened intuition, can't we? So the meditation focus is that we might be directed by the highest vibrational wisdom that comes from love and light, that we might achieve peace within ourselves and spread it within the world and be a messenger of light and love in the world, not negativity and darkness. We only want light and love. It balances, it allows you to balance and be a willing vessel for Creator's love to come through you to yourself and to others. And let's not forget, yes, we're called to serve, but you have to be whole to serve and give. So it's loving Creator, love and light to you and through you. And the lotus flower is 1,000 petals. And I have made a mistake in my notes here. I'll have to get back to you on the geometric symbol because I repeated it for the crown chakra, and I know this is wrong. But if you stop and think about 1,000 petals, there's 1,000 ideas, 1,000 things you could be creative in. You want wholeness between your base chakra and your crown chakra, everything in between. You want it to be whole and healed and filled with light.
Well, we hope you've enjoyed our chakra series. I know it was 3 videos. I hope it was informational. I hope it, sparked your interest. I hope you learned a lot from it. So we look forward to you coming back in the future for other videos that we have going forward. We should have an angels video coming out soon. We're working on some other things. So go in light, go in love, and God bless.